Systems on. Three screens green. AZ Stevens. Cleared for launch.
Every breath is gasoline, cold and chaos, pixels and pain. One mistake and you're out of the game. Screens glow bright, heat in my face. Digital track, physical race. Robin's voice cutting through the crowd. Send it, baby, we're running proud. No reset, no second chance. Heartbeat syncs with the engines dancing the noise. I find my adrenaline's my song. Full send nation, burn the line. Every lap we redefine. No fear, no hesitation. Stevens Motorsport domination. Full send nation, rise again. Full send nation, rise again. 40 cars deep, daylight fades. We ride the storm that the engine made. No walls hold when the dream's in gear. You don't drive fast, you disappear. Set up sheet tape to the dash. Tuned by code and a flash of cash. Sweat drips down, white knuckles burn. This ain't practice, it's my turn. Grip the wheel, feel the grind. Chasing ghosts through the online mind. Every lap a brand new war. I ain't lifting anymore. Full send nation, red line ride. Fuel on fire, hearts collide. Triple screen thunder breaking the chain. We don't quit, we live insane.
In gears we trust. In rubber we pray. For every wreck, another day. You better hold that line, AJ.
Full send. Full send. Full send nation, flag held high. Daytona dreams will never die. Stevens Motorsport built to win. Light that fuse and send it again. Full send nation, crank that sound. Engine scream, the world spins round. From the grid to the finish flame, we own the night. Remember the name. Yeah.
Stevens Motorsports. Full send forever.
Engines live, telemetry synced. Stevens Motorsports, lock it in. Fuel in my veins, fire in my chest. Every heartbeat's louder than the rest. The rig's alive, the lights go green. This is more than a race, it's a dream machine.
evening, ladies and gentlemen, or should I say afternoon. We are back for another broadcast. Today we bring you the Legends Racing Network of the Great American Race. We've got the Daytona 500, or in our case, the LRN 500. So we've taken 1987 Cup cars, we've brought them to smooth Daytona, and I really think we're in for a better race than a lot of people seem to think. So I hope my fixed series compatriots are watching and see what they think about how this race is going to go today. These guys are out qualifying right now, so we're going to get some race info up. 70 degrees in the air. It's about 80 degrees on the track temp. 200 laps today, 87 Cup cars, one fast repair, and 9 sets of tires. We saw a lot of things in practice so far with these cars, and I don't think we're going to see the usual car get loose. I did create the setup myself, and it seems like this has turned this car into a little bit more of a bubble drafter, if that makes sense. But like I said, overall, we should be in for a good ride. I think we got about 25 cars for this one. So this is actually the second annual event for this. This is formerly the ICW 500. After talking with Cord a little bit, we decided to move it over to the Legends Racing Network and run it out of there, being that it's 87 Cup cars. And I hope this event continues to grow. I think it's something different than what we usually get to see every week when we race these cars at Bumpy Daytona. I think it might have discouraged a few people as to signing up. But I think it'll make things, it'll give guys something different to drive. So, Robbie, to answer your question, we had a little bit of an issue where the car bobbled and I smacked the outside wall. Wasn't a whole lot of fun. Oh God, I forgot this one's got planes landing at it. Oh, we got quite a few guys out rolling right now. Almost everybody's qualifying, so that's good. I think that's going to be key today. You're going to want to get a decent starting position. So Brandon Sock's on track right now. Get a little bit closer on some of our stuff. I am going to try to work in a crank it up. So if we can get, if we can do lap 3, we can make this work. So we'll show that right now. I did get my pedals done. I made some more adjustments last night to get them a little bit better, but yeah, it was kind of discouraging to have a really good setup and you know, it to fall apart like that. I did have a couple of the other PRS guys run the setup that were actually next gen guys and did pretty solid. So, you know, it was nice to see some of those guys come over and jump in the 87 and run with us for a little bit. So what's going on, Sam? Long time no see. Trailer Park Dude, Mr. Kevin West. I give him a lot of shit, but it's all good fun. Connor Walbeck. Let's see where he comes in at. 3rd place after 2. Greg Bellin on the top of the board, though. 42.812. And Greg usually doesn't show up to super speedway stuff. So good to see Greg out here today. Brandon Sox, 2nd on the board. I think we had all but 3 people have qualified. So Joe Sullivan in that throwback tide ride that I did for him. I really like that one. That came out good. We got anybody else still qualifying? Andrew Moger just rolled off pit road. He's going to attempt to put a lap in. Yeah, I should mention Korn has a stream going right now on YouTube, and then Vince Rossetti is probably live over on Twitch. It's Fapper Tapper 69 over on Twitch if you want to go check out his view of it. Funny dude. Vince is actually deployed in Kuwait currently, so he's half a world away. So it's early in the morning for him at this point. But all right, we're gonna get the timing tower off. We're gonna get your grid up on screen, and of course it wouldn't be a stream if my software didn't decide to play dumb. Is the grid gonna work this time? Of course it's not, because why would it? Oh, good Lord, I love when things go south. Reload. There we go. All right, let's get this off the screen. We don't need that. Greg Welland's going to put it on the pole with a 42.812. Brandon Sox to his outside. Vince Rossetti's going to start third. Connor Wolbeck starts fourth. Ethan Mosby going to start fifth. JD McHaley is sixth. Bill Lance seventh. Nick Adams is eighth. We've got Joe Sullivan starting ninth. 10th is going to be Phil Connor. 11th, Tom Gom. 12th is Zach Korn. Moving back a little bit further in the field, we've got Justin Bell is in 13th. Kevin West starts 14th. Gary Freeman, the lawnmower, he starts 15th. James Phillips is 16th. Gabe Griffin is 17th. James Seco is 18th. Scott Thompson is 19th. Don Jordan 20th. And Andrew Boger going to start 21st position. So got a lot of positions to make up there. Get some bills paid. Get our track map up. All right. I think we are set for this thing. We got a few guys left to grid up. Looks like everybody gridded. Maybe I'm wrong. Wait to see that car roll off of pit road. And we're going to roll. So this predominantly uses the 87's Legend Series rules, which, you know, is pretty typical for most of these events that we do. So there is no green white checker. It is kind of rare that we've got a fast repair, but we figured with 200 laps on the books, probably be for the best. We got JD McHaley in a very interesting paint scheme today. Very Dale Senior of him. We got everybody kind of falling in line. I got the Dominator just pulling off to the back. Not sure what that's about. Looks like he towed back to pit road. All right, here we go. We got Ginger Ninja in the chat. Funny dude. If you get a chance, go check him out over on TikTok. Looks like he's got West and Rossetti for a win, possibly. So here we go. Greg Welland about to get this thing kicked off as soon as the pace car ducks off. It is 87 restart rules as well, so keep that in mind. Oh, and we're green flag racing from Daytona. Brandon Sock's going to go around the outside already. As we head down into turn number one, he throws the block on Greg Welland on the bottom side. Looks like we're going to make it cleanly through turns 1 and 2 here. We got Scott Thompson and looks like the Gominator coming off of pit road. Side by side up front between Brandon Sox, Connor Walbeck, JD McHaley hanging in there in the top 4. Still too wide up front. Now, a lot of people are probably thinking, you know, what's on the line for today? And things get really interesting. First place is going to get $335. Second place is going to come home with $200, and third place is going to come home with $133. As we see Connor Walbeck try to get around Brandon Sox on that high lane. Right now, it's kind of a stalemate, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the tires as a lot of this goes on. JD in that all-black Terminix car trying to make something happen with Connor on the high side. Brandon Sox blinks out for a second. He does come back, which is very rare for Brandon. I think when we hit lap number 5, we will go ahead and get to our crank it up segment here, which should be good with these guys all tucked tight together. Still side-by-side racing up front, though, for the top 6 positions at least. You got Phil Connor in the 4 car sitting back there just kind of watching. And we're starting to see a second pack kind of get forming up behind Phil. And it looked like Joe Sullivan was leading that group. So Brandon Sox has led pretty much every lap so far. Still clean rolling out in front. Now, this makes it really interesting. You know, I almost got to think that Daytona back in '87 was a little bit smoother than what we've got right now if we run Legacy Daytona. But I'm going to step aside. We're going to crank this thing up for a couple of laps here, and we're going to ride on board with some guys too. All right. Well, we've made it through a couple of laps there with everybody running smoothly. Brandon Sox out front. We saw Connor Walbeck get to the lead there for a minute, but wasn't to be had. I kind of got to wonder if that high lane is getting a little interesting. I think the rubber is definitely going to play into a little bit of this. Just being the fact that we usually at bumpy Daytona can't move the cars around too much as Greg Welland heads to the lead now. I almost got to wonder if we start to see a little bit of stretch happen. Some things, you know, kind of coming undone, unlike normal as we see in the 87 series. So these guys running smooth so far. We're through lap 8. You know, usually about lap 10 to 15, we start see things going interesting for bumpy Daytona. With smooth Daytona, I don't know if we'll see it right at about 10-15. It may be a little bit later in that race. So should be interesting. Hope nobody pulls a Hocevar from the FTF 500 last night. What happened, Sam? I did not get to see that. As Greg Wellen still sits out front as we come across the start-finish line and leads off into turn number 1. I see the old Fapper Tapper car. He's trying to get up there. Yeah, Diggs, I don't think we're going to see as much beating on the tires. It's going to be more the right sides than anything, because now you're putting all that load out there, but you're not hopping it. So... oh, that's very interesting, Sam. Brandon Sox back to the lead. Connor Wolbeck going to try to go with him. See if he can't get around. JD McHaley still hanging on. 3rd place. And we've got Trailer Park Dude sitting the outside. Kevin West in that 01 car. I give him a lot of grief, but old Trailer Park Dude, he can wheel it. I'll say that. Man, they are battling up front for that lead. Greg and Brandon just going at it right now. There's a combined total of about 17,000 iRating in the top 3 at the moment. And if you add Kevin West in there, it's almost 20K. Lot of shuffling. Oh, Nick Adams is loose. He goes around. That's going to bring the caution out. Bill Lance is going to back it into the wall. Nick doesn't look terrible. Still too early, I think, to want to use a fast repair, but we're gonna come back and look at that. I think Joe got knocked down pit lane too. Let's go from the blimp on this and slow it down. Oh, it gets loose on him on exit. Joe hits him in the back. Nick's trying to save it. Bill Lance catches him in the backside. Okay, so Joe missed pit road. Bill's got it locked down. Pretty sure Gary's going to need a new pair of pants along with Andrew Moger. Oh my God, Moger barely misses him. Looks like Andrew's going to have to use that fast repair already. But overall, everybody fairly clean. Come back here and take a look at Andrew. We got a car spun in 4 apparently. What did JD do? Do I dare ask? He's just kind of cruising. Pace car goes by. Oh, and he sidestepped the clutch and it just spins. Okay. And he gets finally rotated around. As Joe Sullivan apparently is blown up. We got Joe Smoking coming down to pit road. So he's going to need to use that fast repair already. Well, move this back and see what happens. Greg Wellen stayed out there. I think you got a few others possibly staying out. Maybe fuel only, but... Corn's coming off of pit road. Kevin West, your first car off pit road. I'm going to assume... oh, no. Brandon Sox, first car off pit road. So first caution comes at about lap 10, so it was weird. But I think most everybody coming back out. We got a few guys. I think Bill Lance is going to sit on that fast repair. Nick Adams, Andrew Moger is bent up. Joe Sullivan is fixed and off pit road. All right. Pace car's getting ready to head through the tri-oval. We got a few guys coming down top, back off on fuel. Got some trash talk going on out there too. Apparently Phil's got something on his quarter panel. Looking to see if I can't catch it on stream. It does say move on the front of the car. I can't tell what that says. Wonder if I can get a better view this way. We'll have to see. Nope, I can't get a good look at it. So. Oh, apparently the quarter panel says time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. So. Oh, man. Well, we're going to restart here on lap 13. Got a few cars still catching the back of the pack. Brandon Sox rolling off a pit road. All right, so this is 87 restart rules. So once pace car goes off, Greg can get this thing back underway. If we have lap cars, they will be to the inside for the rest of this event. So we'll have to see how this all plays out. Pace car is off. As soon as the pace car hits pit road, we can go. Greg's going to hold him. Yeah, he didn't hold him as long as I thought he was going to. But we're back out and racing. You know, JD even self-spinning on under caution. Shockingly, he was able to get back to second. So I think if you're going to save a set of tires and kind of see what it's going to do, I think now would be the time to do it. It may work out where the old tires take off. But you've got 9 sets, so the one to watch, you're going to have Nick Adams coming, or not Nick Adams, I'm sorry, Brandon Sox is going to try to come all the way for the back. Kevin West goes around Greg Welland, so does JD McKaylee. JD going to lead this lap. First time he's led all day today. So JD leads through turns 1 and 2 in that black Terminex car. Down the backstretch we go. Everybody pretty much single filed out. I think you're going to see a lot of guys. The front 5 probably just ride. Everybody else going to try and get it back close. As Kevin West is going to put it to the front around JD McKaylee. Greg Welland going to try to go with him as well. A lot of movement going on up front. And I see Gabe Griffin trying to enter the chat in that blue Ford behind Greg Welland. Down the backstretch, Kevin West leads. single file all the way back, it looked like, to Ethan Mosby. Nick Adams way off the pace, as well as Andrew Moger. Looks like Gabe's going to try to go around Greg and possibly try to go after Kevin West for the lead right now. I think for the guys that didn't pit, it's probably a wise idea to drop in behind. See if you can't, save some draft or save some fuel running the draft. But guys on fresh tires, it may be a benefit to go out front, see how much you can do with it, but... Ooh, we got a little bit of shuffling back there. I see the Dominator trying to head forward. Tom sitting in 10th. So running order right now, you've got West, Griffin, Wellen, McKaylee, Rossetti, Walbeck, Mosby. Actually, we got Vince way off. I think Vince got pulled to pit road for blinking, maybe? Nope, he's still out there. So Vince about 7th. Yeah, so Vince is going to settle in just in front of Korn after his little blink out session there. That's one thing I wish I had for this track, and I wish iRacing would kind of put this in a little bit more, is some TV mixed cameras. Tom Gom all the way up to 5th. He's a man on a mission right now. Ethan Mosby blinking a little bit. Tom up to 4th. Connor coming with him. Ooh, it's going to get close between Greg and Gabe. Tom's going to go to the bottom side of Greg. Gabe goes to the bottom side of Kevin West. Gabe Griffin to the lead for the first time today. These boys are running hard up front right now. Ooh, as Gabe gets a little loose, Tom's going to send it 3 wide. Can the Dominator get a twofer? And he can! Ooh, Gabe gets up into TPD. We're clear. Everything looks good. Ethan Mosby gets the notification that he is blinking, so he's going to try and back out for a little bit and hope to kind of stay out of people's ways a little bit. So Tom leads. Walbeck is 2nd. With Greg Wellen, Gabe Griffin, Kevin West, JD, Zach Korn, James Seco, and Special Phil, your top... and Vince Rossetti, your top 10. Tom slides to the top. He's going to let Connor take off. See if Tom can't save some fuel. So Connor back to the lead. Doing a lot of shuffling. Check out our early leader, Brandon Sox. He is a little off the pace of the lead group with Joe Sullivan. But they don't have to check up. They don't have to worry about wrecks. So might be a safe place to be for right now for your early leader. Back to the front we go. Trailer Park Dude trying to get a run back to the front. He's now up to 3rd. Down the backstretch they go. 23 laps in. Only one caution so far today. I'm actually very curious. Let's check our race recap so far. Through 23 laps, we've had 11 lead changes. That's actually really cool. Like, you don't see that much shifting around this place and this kind of running usually. So kind of exciting to see how this race is shaping up a little bit. It does look like it's going to start to kind of be a pack thing. And you got Connor, I think, on fresh tires. We could actually confirm that. Let me check. Show Connor's lap time. He's 21 seconds. So yeah, that should be tires. Greg has yet to pit. Kevin West took fuel only. The Gominator is on tires as well. So kind of a few different strategies. See if we can't come back through the field. It's pretty single at the moment though. I wonder if these guys will get to some green flag pit stops. Brandon Sox, Joe Sullivan have caught the back of that pack. We'll see if they start to move forward a little bit. Sam, that was one of those things that we totally forgot about. He scheduled it, not realizing that it was Super Bowl Sunday. So Connor Wolbeck continuing to lead with it single filed out. I think a lot of these guys are starting to kind of just settle in, which brings me to, I guess, my first question of the day. 46, Andrew Moger reporting he's going to stay low. Who do you got for your Daytona 500 winner next weekend? I guess that's a good place to start for this, because not a lot of it's 50-50 on who's going to watch the Super Bowl. But we'll get the Super Bowl questions here in a minute. So who you got for your win for the Daytona 500 next weekend? I kind of want to see I kind of want to see a Blaney win. That mustache is absolutely epic. It'd be kind of cool to see him get one. And maybe I'm just partial to the high vis. I think he is on a mission this year. Yeah, I would not be surprised to see Denny get one. Kyle Larson, Bell, Priest. All good picks, quite honestly. Starting to see a little bit more of a group get formed up front. That's fair, Dan. I found it very tough. We were talking about this with Big Duke last night. It's really tough to be relatable with some of the new drivers, I feel like. Everybody says, well, there's no personality. Well, it's tough to be relatable when you don't have a personality, right? So now we're starting to stretch back out to those 3 lead cars again. Kyle, I hadn't seen his Clash car yet. I actually didn't even get to watch the Clash really, so but I thought I saw the Daytona paint that looked really sweet. Sam, you're not wrong. You are not wrong at all. We're starting to catch lap cars. We're going to go off the nose of Connor for just a minute here. Lap cars are going to stay up high. Oh, man, Bill Lance is loose on that high side. Looks like they are going to clear those guys without issue. Man, they're starting to really stretch out here. So you got the top 3, then you've got Tom and Gabe sitting in 4th and 5th. Corn's kind of in a weird no man's land along with Phil Connor here. But they're all within drafting room. As long as you're within 0.7 of the car in front of you, you're good. Phil is only 0.58 back from Corn, so he's still feeding on that draft. And then you've got this whole other group with James Seco and then JD leading that second pack. So I think it's still anybody's race. I think we could see this maybe start to come back together, as you see Tom trying to pull back up on him. Let's take a look and see what Corn sees out in front. It's very interesting. It almost sounds like they're kind of babying the throttle a little bit, but we're 215 down into the corner, about 197 through the corner, it looks like. So kind of interesting. This is the longest run we've had. But it does look like Corn's starting to kind of creep back into this conversation. Checking in on our early leader, Brandon Sox. He's up to 14th. Joe Sullivan's still way back. Actually, he's actually lost Sox, so I'm not sure what's going on there. We go back to the battle for the front. Top 3 remain unchanged. Looks like Tom and Gabe are kind of playing rubber band with the top 3. Connor Wolbeck stays out in front. We get ready to come onto the back stretch here. And of course, my drone cams don't want to work that nice right now. Starting to get a little bit of fog out there, which is really odd. Let's see what our weather looks like at the moment. It's supposed to be 3 o'clock in game. 69 degrees, 92% humidity, so it might just be the humidity we're seeing hanging in the air. But I think we might get to a point where we start to see might start seeing some green flag stops as Ethan Mosby fades back a little bit. Vince Rossetti back up into ninth. Greg Welland's gonna fall back. He might be trying to save a little bit of fuel here, as Greg didn't pit that last time. So might be seeing a little bit of strategy, see what happens. But at the moment, everybody running pretty clean. This trailer park dude continues to hound Connor Wallbeck out front. I'm hearing somebody ask why this car feels like the Gen 4 here. I really don't think that's what the case is here. But it definitely is single filed out a little bit. I mean, you might say it might be the way that I tuned it, but I don't think so. See if these guys start doing some passing or if this is going to stay like 1987 all over again. Connor Wallbeck leads. Let's see how many laps he's led here so far today. Connor's led 20 laps so far. So yeah, the Pontiac grill pokes through the fog kind of weird. I don't understand it. It has something to do with the way the tape is, but another interesting one of note, JD McHaley did not pit during that caution. I would suspect we're going to start seeing those guys pit in the next few laps, just because of the fact that usually 40 is about the magic number if we're green flagged the whole time. So maybe 42, 43. So we'll have to see who comes in and who stays out. I don't know if the early pit at about 10 laps in, that would put you lap 50-ish. And these guys are actually running faster than we usually see at Daytona. Greg Welland calls out he will be headed to pit road. JD coming with him. And I do believe Vince Rossetti as well. Ooh, JD's gonna blow pit road. Oh my God. That may mess a lot of things up for a lot of people. Oh, and JD just got hit by the 35 of James Seco on pit road. Connor Wallbeck still leads. These guys are going to have to pit soon, so I'm not sure. They're going to go 10 laps further than Greg Welland. Greg's going to be the first car lap down with Vince Rossetti right behind him. It could get interesting for these guys when they go to pit, just based off of what we saw with JD and Vince coming down to pit road. Still a tight 5-car battle up front. Korn has now caught the back of that pack. So hopefully he can save a little bit more fuel. Connor's still out front. Waiting to see JD and James leave pit road here soon. And James is going around JD. Yeah, so you've got essentially a 6-car breakaway, and then you've got Ethan Mosby out by himself in no man's land, and then you've got Justin Bell and Phil Connor. So they could probably catch Mosby since they're together. He's about 2.3 out in front, and they're actually losing, which is interesting. "45 laps in." It's all Connor Walbeck out in front. This feels like a 1987 Daytona 500, if you ask me. I don't think you could get a much better representation of that race. Let's find out. Let me point at Mosby. Mosby is losing to Korn right now. Korn's 2.69 up, and Mosby is now losing to Bell a little bit. I think Phil needs to get just a little bit closer to the back of Justin Bell for them to really start to catch. If we go back to the front. It looks like, I believe JD has made it back onto the track. I would not be surprised if he's seriously low on fuel, as we're going around the 75 of Scott Thompson. Looks like Scott's maybe... Oh, God, the right front on Scott's car is just absolutely destroyed. Let's see if I can't get a better view of that. It looked like the right front was towed way in. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he just fell off the draft, and that's why he went a lap down, because now he's hanging in. I thought kind of looked like the left front was towed in quite a bit, but we've got Nick Adams crashed some... Oh, Nick Adams has crashed at the bottom of turns 1 and 2. It stays green, though. So actually kind of surprised that didn't bring out a caution. As we see Kevin West going to the inside. Kevin takes over the lead. Kind of got to wonder if that wasn't a planned idea. Almost makes me wonder if I shouldn't have left the spoilers stay at 20, because it might have made things a little more interesting. Well, Nick was down below the yellow, so it may have allowed for it not to actually have the caution come out. So Kevin West is your leader. Korn's caught back up to the back of the pack. We just saw Bill Lance head down pit road. Still single file out front. Korn's on the back of that pack, and it looks like Don Jordan's kind of hanging on to the back of this group. Let's see if we can't move back a little bit further. Justin Bell now has Special Phil and Ethan Mosby, they are moving forward. They're 6 seconds back from Corn currently. So with a 3-car pack, they may be able to catch back up here from 6 seconds. Thought I heard somebody say something about pitting. Sox is headed to pit road 50 laps in. I'm wondering if he's coming early, see if he can't jump some of these guys, maybe break this down a little bit as Kevin West continues to lead out in front. It don't look too bad. Scott Thompson going to come to pit road. Joe Sullivan's on pit road. James Phillips is on pit road. I just heard Gary call out he's coming to pit road next. So we are going to get green flag stops here in our LRN 500. Gominator and Gabe Griffin have said they're coming to pit road. I do believe, I think I heard Kevin West say something about pitting as well. Yep, they're all coming down pit road. So that's going to give Zach Korn the lead for a minute. Did I see damage on the front of that? No, no damage. These guys are all headed down pit road as we speak. Looks like everybody's getting into their boxes clean, so. The Korn is all alone by himself. Justin Bell. Kevin West already out. I think he took fuel only. Or did he miss his box? I'm not sure what happened there. He missed his box. He's got to come around. That may hurt Trailer Park Dude. His Korn has come to pit road. So Korn on pit road. I got to imagine he's going to take some tires here. And we'll check and see where Gabe Griffin and the rest of the group is. Kevin West is out of fuel. So Greg Wellen is going to roll to the lead. The bad thing for Greg is he had to pit early. Trailer Park Dude is continuing to roll the bottom, trying to get to pit road and not have to tow after missing his pit box. Korn still leads. The caution came out. I'm trying to figure out where the caution's at. It's got to be for Kevin slow below because I don't see a car crashed, which is really freaking weird. Well, this shakes a lot of things up. He didn't come to a stop though, Diggs. He was still rolling. That's really weird. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened there. All right. Well, we're through 54 laps. Well, almost 55 laps. So yes, Sam, they are iRacing Throne. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure why it threw the caution. It's very confusing to me. We got a few guys staying out. Scott Thompson going to be your lucky dog. So we've got 12 cars on the lead lap. So we're going to have a line of lap cars to the inside. So this could get very, very interesting. While we're under caution here, I'm going to step away for a minute. So I will be back with you guys here very shortly. Okay, so we should be getting ready to go green this next time by. Looks like we've got everybody lined up 2 by 2. Nick Adams going to be to the inside of Zach Korn. Got a whole line of guys headed up the inside. So you should have, looks like, JD McHaley going to be fighting for the lucky dog with Don Jordan, Special Phil, James Seco, and then you've got everybody else 2 laps down at least. So I think Phil topping off, trying to get a little bit of extra fuel in that car, see if he can outlast these guys a little bit and pray a caution goes his way. So we saw about 40 laps of fuel in these cars. Could change a lot of things. Korn got the lucky end of this as he stays out front, but Korn was also, I think, one of the few that stayed out on that caution, having just pitted. I mean, the only thing he's really going to gain is a little bit of fuel, but alrighty, pace car should duck off. Then we should get this thing back underway, as we just finished our second caution of the entire race. For what I can only figure was because Kevin West had to pit there and ran out of fuel. Pace car's in. And we're off. Corn gonna get this thing stretched out early. We head down into turn number 1. Corn gonna drop it to the bottom. JD gonna try and get a run up to the back of this pack, see if he can't get a lap back. Connor is gonna run the bottom into 3 and 4 and try to take the lead away from Corn. Trailer Park Dude gonna try to drive his way back to at least 1 lap down. He needs 2. So he's got to get out front and pray for a caution and then get another caution after that as the lucky dog. Into 1 and 2, Connor leads. You've got the lap car of Nick Adams running second behind Connor, and it's turning into a very hairy battle up front at the moment as we're 2x2 all the way back. Lap cars mixed in with regular race cars. See the Dominator at the back of the pack. He looks like he's kind of hanging out. Oh, Greg Wellen shoves it 3 wide inside of Gabe. That got wild for a second. Trailer Park Dude is trying to get that lap back any way that he can. Connor Wolbeck still leads. Corn's going to let TPD to the inside. 3 wide they go. Corn's up the hill. Connor's all alone. He's a sitting duck, but if Trailer Park Dude could get out in front of him, get his lap back the hard way, he will, and he drops it from the top to the bottom, and Trailer Park Dude gets a lap back under green flag. The question is how many others can do that? JD is out in front of Gary Freeman as we speak, so JD, if a wreck were to happen right now, would be your lucky dog. What's going on, Donnie? Connor Wolbeck gonna try and put TPD another lap back down, and he does. They are just dogfighting right now. Trailer Park Dude to the lead again as a lap car. Greg Wellen, your actual leader. Trailer Park Dude leads the field. He's going to need another caution to get a lap back. JD still holds off Gary. JD trying to put some distance between himself and Gary. I saw him there at the back of the pack diving under Nick Adams. JD still trying to work his way back up. He needs as many cars between him and Gary when the caution comes out as he can get. Greg out in front at the moment. Everybody's single filed out again. Still really interesting what this car is doing here. But JD's put a lot of ground between himself and Gary. You can see Gary back there in that red car. JD in the black and green. Gary just coming into frame right now. So that's what JD needs. Trailer Park Dude is praying like hell for a caution. Still single file up front. Not a whole lot of passing going on right now. We've got a little second group here with Gary, Joe Sullivan. Looks like Vince, and I think that was Nick Adams. Brandon Sox is somewhere in here. Oh, Brandon's in the second group. Trying to get something rolling up front. James Phillips headed to pit road. There's a lot of heavy damage to the front of that car. Still single file out in front, though. So the lap cars have kind of fizzled out a little bit. I think the only one you've still got in the middle of it is JD. I'm trying to see who else is in here. I don't really see anybody else. Andrew Moger up there as well, but he's quite a bit down. So JD's kind of where he needs to be to get this thing back onto the lead lap. As Kevin West just picked up a position while James Phillips is on pit road. Go at a little bit different angle here for a little bit. We've run the swept angle for quite a while. Kevin West around special Phil, so that means Phil is on pit road getting damage fixed is my guess. So Greg Wellen continues to lead. Gabe Griffin's second. Justin Bell is third. Connor Wolbeck's fourth. Tom Gomes fifth. Zach Korn is sixth, Ethan Mosby seventh, Vince Rossetti eighth, Joe Sullivan is ninth, and Brandon Sox is in 10th. And for those of you just joining us, the 01 out in front, that is Trailer Park Dude. He is a lap down. He's raced his way back a lap. He still needs one more to get back on the lead lap. So he's just trying to stay out in front of everything at the moment, which isn't really a bad strategy in my opinion. Let's go on board with a couple of these guys. Let's go off of Gabe's roll bar. On board with the Gominator. Sounds like Tom trying to save a little bit of fuel. Letting it bog down a little bit. Catch where Vince Rossetti's at. He's just a little bit off the back of that pack in front of him. They're not that far ahead. It does look like that car's dancing a little bit on that low lane. So we might be seeing some interesting things. Wow, you can really hear the wind there. It was a Coke, Michelle. It's too early to drink. Oh, we got some action going on up front. We got some possible passing opportunities at the moment. Justin Bell floats up. It's going to let Connor Wolbeck go around him. They're going to cut up in front of Justin. I don't know if they're trying to get Justin back in the pack so he could save some fuel, maybe. Ooh, Mabley, what the hell? TPD still out front as we close in on 75 laps. Oh, Gabe smacked the wall. There's a lot of guys praying for a caution right now. I may start drinking once we get to the Super Bowl, but right now I'm just caffeinated. So I've got a little bit of rage after what happened to me in the WNIS earlier today. So, you know, I just got to sit here and drink my Coke. If y'all ain't careful, I'm gonna throw a Budweiser can in somebody's windshield from up here. It's a good thing you guys can't hear race chat. Michelle, it was a rough go of things. We worked on the setup quite a bit yesterday. Oh, Greg's in the wall. He saves it. Holy moly. That was a wild one for a second. Wish I had a Well, if anybody remembers, Cale Yarborough wound up with a Budweiser can in his windshield. I believe it was Daytona. And it went into the windshield and sunk into it. So that was a thing. But back to what I was talking about. We worked on the setup for quite a while yesterday, put a lot of laps in, and unfortunately, I had a mental lapse or something with the brake pedal, and the car kind of jumped. I tried to catch it. It swatted the wall. The caution never came out, and it put me 4 or 5 laps down at the end by the time I had to pit and everything. It was just not a good day. As it looks like Bill Lance is up high in turn 3 and 4. Didn't they have to replace DW's windshield because it wanted to come out? So it looks like JD is still hanging on to the lucky dog should the caution come out, as long as it doesn't involve him. Got a lot of guys just riding though. So we pitted on, I believe that was 55. So plus 40 should be right around 95 to 100, depending on how much fuel guys are saving. Still a little ways off from our pit stop. Trailer park dude is just driving his ass off, hoping to see that caution as he stays out in front of Connor Wolbeck. Yeah, Diggs, I'll bet that was probably Ethan. he blinks just a little bit. It's very weird, though, to have a race in the 87 cars here that we're not seeing cars get crazy loose, which is kind of refreshing to a degree, because we get a lot of green flag laps. But at the same time, I feel like some of these guys would like to see a caution just so that way they could relax a little bit. JD still hanging on. Looking to see where Gary's at. Okay, so Gary's quite a ways off the back of this pack, so that helps JD out a little bit. Down through 3 and 4, Connor continuing to lead here. Getting a little bit of space between first, second, and third, which is intriguing, actually. Starting to get a little racy back there. We see Corn falling back just a little bit. Not sure if there's some aero going on or what exactly was up there, but Corn a little bit off the pace as we head down into 3 and 4. Gabe dropping back just a little bit. Connor's still chasing Trailer Park Dude, and I think this is actually a real good idea for Connor, just because of the fact he'll get to save some fuel and let a very fast car sit out front and burn that extra fuel. So in the end, it may wind up helping him and Greg a little bit better, especially with some of these guys buried back in the pack a little bit. So let's go back a little bit further. We've got Justin Bell, I believe. Nope. So we got Vince has caught Nick Adams, and they're drafting together. Joe Sullivan is off in no man's land right now. And then you've got Brandon Sox leading an entire group. And they're about 10.8 off of Joe Sullivan. They are catching him, so they could add another car to that group as we speak. But we got Corn drifting back even farther. I don't know if he hit the wall or what he did, but he has fallen way off the pace. There is some damage to the right front of that car, so I don't know if he caught the wall on exit or something. Let's see if we can't get a better look at this right front. Yeah, that right front's pretty scraped up. As I thought. Okay, we got Andrew Moger to pit road. So that drops one of them out of the group. Connor continues to lead. He's hanging out all over the back of Trailer Park, dude. Oh, we got Ethan blinking again. This is actually, with Andrew hitting the wall, this is separated into another group with Gabe Griffin leading the lap car of JD McHaley with Justin Bell. See if they're catching or if they're losing. I think JD's got to get a little bit closer to Gabe for them to start to catch. But it looks like that front group is starting to pull away. Phil Connor up on the high side. Connor leads across the line. Probably about 8 laps or so, 9 laps or so before we start to see possibly green flag pit stops again. As we're starting to roll through 3 and 4 here. Very overcast out there, I'll say that. So you got Connor Wallback, Greg Wellen, Tom Gom, Ethan Mosby, Gabe Griffin, Justin Bell, Zach Korn, Vince Rossetti, Joe Sullivan, and Brandon Sox, your top 10. Let's take a look and see where Korn has wound up at. He is coming back to the back of this pack, so a decent little recovery as they start to build a little bit bigger of a group here. Kyle, I'm right there with you. If we check the weather, though, here's where the problem comes in. I'll get that up on screen. It's 93% humidity at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so I think it's just the humidity hanging in the air. I don't really think it's a fog per se, but it would be nice to have the sun come out as the leaders start to go around the 35 of James Seco on the high side. James going to drop in line with the leaders. So you've got lap car, first, second, lap car, third, fourth. So Seco gonna try and move. I thought Seco was gonna go out and around. Go ahead and zoom this out a little bit further so we can see a little bit more of the group. I want to see how close Gabe Griffin is. He's 1.1 off the back of Ethan. Justin Bell needs to bring it a little bit closer, I think, for them to be able to start to catch. But they're holding right about that 1-1 spot. They're not really losing. I think it might make things a little interesting. We got Greg Wellen moving back in the pack. I think Greg trying to save a little bit of fuel, maybe see if he can't stretch it out a little bit more. James Seco is going to get around Connor. That's going to put him back up a lap. I thought I just saw the 94 of Nick Adams slow rolling along the backstretch. I think he ran out of fuel. Yep, he is out of fuel, and he has confirmed it. He's slowed down the backstretch. I think Moger just came to pit road, so I think you're starting to see that round of green flag pit stops. So we're going to see who did their homework on the last one. Nick Adams is going to have to tow it, I believe. Yep, he did have to tow. So this time we don't have a car out of gas that pulled a yellow. So that's a positive. As we hit, we're going to hit lap 94 this time around. So all your leaders are behind lap cars, which isn't the worst thing. Right now, he is sitting in Lucky Dog. We'll go take a look. If the caution were to come out, as long as JD's not collected, he is in the Lucky Dog seat, hanging in right there with, it was a Gabe Griffin sitting in P5. So he's in a pretty good spot right now. I do believe Kevin West just called out he will be headed to pit road. Probably going to try to pit a lap early and not run out of fuel. So Kevin's headed to the bottom of the track. Yep, Kevin off pace. He's headed to pit road as we speak. Keep an eye on him as he comes down pit road, see if he can get it slowed down. Looks like he does. Connor going to ride behind the lap cars. I think that's still a wise idea, especially if this thing starts to go long in the tooth. He's going to pick Joe Sullivan to win. Sullivan just hit pit road. I've heard Gabe, Gary, Korn calling out that they're headed to pit road. Vince Rossetti on pit road already. I gotta look and see where's Korn at. Here he comes. Oh, I think Korn blew it. Whoa. Korn is loose. Waiting to hear when everybody else is coming. Connor is called out. He is headed to pit road. The Dominator going with him. Ethan Mosby going with him as well. We got a whole group of them. Scott Thompson headed to pit road with him. So Greg Wellen inherits the lead. He's all by himself. Gary. JD's gonna head to pit road this time. Ooh, Greg getting a little loose on the bottom there, but it looks like he is going to head to pit road as well. He's got him locked up. Does he make it? I cannot tell. JD got onto pit road clean this time. Where's the Dominator? Dominator just rolled off of pit road. Greg just got onto pit road, so it's going to be interesting to see who the heck gets out in front as Greg is sitting there on pit road taking tires. So you've got Connor and Tom, 1 and 2. Greg's rolling off. Where are Tom and Connor? They are just crossing the pit road entrance. Greg is rolling the bottom of 1 and 2. We'll see what he can do here. He makes it out in front of Tom and Connor. That's what you call a pit road entrance. Greg is going to stay high so it doesn't kill the run that Tom and Connor have. Trailer Park Dude has now has to race his ass off to get back to the front to get that lap back again. So we've got 8 cars on the lead lap right now. As I do believe we've gotten through all the pit cycles except for Scott Thompson on pit road as we speak. So you've got the top 4, actually, top 4 pretty much out in front. You've got a lap car mixed in there with Kevin West. As we've hit the halfway mark. Which things are going to get a little more interesting for JD because he's got Joe Sullivan catching him. You see that Tide ride back there, the premier Tide throwback, sitting in four cars back, or 3 cars back from JD. That's the next guy to possibly get the lucky dog here. So going back to the front, though, it's starting to tighten up with the leaders. Gom leads, Wallback second, Ethan Mosby is third, Greg Welland fourth. Greg is actually the 5th car on your screen. Down the back stretch we go again. It looks like JD is barely in the lucky dog seat as you've got Joe Sullivan and Gary Freeman. Gary's on the back of that pack. Tom out in front. Trailer Park Dude going to try and get something going around the outside, see if he can't race his way back to that lead lap. Because these guys have absolutely checked out from Justin Bell. Justin sits about 4 seconds back and continues to lose. This group's got to get going. They don't really have a choice right now unless a caution comes out. And they are just not close enough to really make things happen. As they pull in on Phil Connor, maybe they can pick him up and use him to go forward a little bit. We'll see if Phil hangs with him or if he wants him to go around. Justin going to go to the bottom side this time. 4.5 back. Tom continues to pull on everybody with this 5-car pack. Unfortunately, I guess I've made this race too clean. Sounds like some people need some cautions. Ethan Mosby blinking a little bit in that front group. These guys are just giving it everything out front. Let's actually check some last lap times. I'm kind of curious. They're running 43-second laps, and that's wild to me, especially because of the fact that usually by about this point in the race, if we're at old Daytona, we're seeing 45, 46-second lap times. It's just wild. Oh, somebody's headsets. Oh, Brandon's headset is just bad. Yeah, these guys are still running 43s. Like, just wild. As we go around the 35 of James Seco. Poor James, I almost collected him earlier today when he came up on me at Homestead. Trailer park dude, gonna go to the front. Tom's gonna let him. I don't think that's a bad idea. Save some fuel again, see what you can do. So you've got the leaders in between two lap cars. That's how it's looking at the moment. Go back to the battle for the lucky dog. JD hanging right in there. He's following Justin Bell. The 15 behind him, that's Joe Sullivan. Joe looking for a lucky dog if he can get it. Oh, and Joe pops the wall hard. My God, that stopped that car. I don't know if that just got aero tight or what. So JD is a little on the safe side as long as Gary doesn't get to the back of him. Ooh, that's interesting, James. That's good to know, actually. Back up front, still the Gominator with Connor in tow. Looks like Gary and JD might be in a little bit of a battle at the moment. You got the lap car lucky dog shootout going down the backstretch with JD trying to hang on. Gary's going to be your lucky dog recipient if the caution were to come out right now. Back up front. I just heard Andrew Moger say, asking if anybody's arms are starting to itch. I'm just surprised with the extra speed in the cars. Let's go here. I already picked Gary for the win. Maybe it was Tom. I can't remember. I'm old. These guys are thinking that the broadcast has got to be utterly boring, but I can make anything interesting. And Tom's a really funny man. Apparently he thinks that I look older than he sounds. And Tom, well, you sound like you're 60. So if Brandon's mic is still screwed up. Oh man. Gom's gonna let Seco go. See if he can't slide back in front of Connor. Still clean out in front. Let's see if we can find some more interesting things. Justin Bell rides fifth. Gabe Griffin right behind him. Things of note. JD and Joe have cleared Gary. You've got the battle for the lucky dog with the 3 cars out in front. So all 3 of these cars are trying to get lucky dog. Michelle, you're not wrong. The running joke when I first met Tom is I thought he was 60, and then when he told me he was 30, I was like, oh, wait a second. Yeah, definitely an interesting battle for the lucky dog here. We'll kind of come back to this as we look at the leaders. You've got 2 lap cars side by side. Seco and West are actually battling for position right now. Looking to see who's in front. Phil's up here in the next group. Whoa, why did that get all weird? That was interesting. Ooh, Kevin West gets real close to Seco's quarter panel there. Ooh, Seco's in the wall. He hangs it up there. He looks like he's rolling pretty good. Gary's now gotten around JD and Joe. Ooh, JD gets loose. This battle for the lucky dog's getting real interesting. JD's going to hold him off right at the moment. He brushes the wall. Tom rides behind Trailer Park, dude. Now we've just got 5 cars out in front. They continue to pull on Gabe Griffin in 5th. As you can see on the left side of your screen, 10.6 right now. We should see next pit cycles about 1:30. I don't know if they're going to wreck each other, but they are running each other pretty dang hard. As you see that JD McHaley machine trying to hold off Gary Freeman. Gary going to go to the bottom of him. Can Gary get around the bottom and take the lead of JD McHaley for the lucky dog? Three wide battle for the lucky dog. My God. I'm not going to answer Phil. I'm not going to answer Phil. Tom still leads, though, with Connor in 2nd. Phil is killing me. 118 laps in, though, and we've only had 2 cautions. That is mind-blowing to me. Diggs, that may be actually happening. I'm with what I'm hearing in my ears. Good Lord, I can't even. I can't even. What else we got going on? We got Vince. We got Vince Brandon. Who else we got? We got a few guys. They have the leaders down to 27 seconds. They are closing. I'm actually shocked that they're closing. Well, they're closing on Justin, or on Gabe and Justin. They're 27 seconds back to them. And then they've got another, they're 38 seconds back from the leaders. And quite honestly, they're not far ahead. You can see that group in 1 and 2. As we start to see the sun come back out for the first time in a hot ass minute. As Kevin West continues to lead this group. I believe we're about 10 laps off from the next round of stops. Let's set our, actually, let's go back here. So we've got Sullivan in lucky dog position with Gary and JD now back at this pack, which is quite interesting. So if we were to get a caution right now, it would be Joe Sullivan's lucky dog. Back to the lead. Oh, good Lord. Now we're talking politics in the race server. This sounds like a terrible idea. Oh my God. The weird things I'm hearing in the voice chat. Diggs, a lot could go wrong at 200 miles an hour as we continue to watch the leaders head down into 1 and 2. Oh, good Lord. I'm waiting for somebody to say the wrong thing and then they get wrecked. Oh, man. Let's go take a look at this again. JD is like moving all over this damn track. 1 minute he's behind the group. 1 minute he's ahead of the group. The next minute he's in the middle of the group. JD to the bottom side of Joe Sullivan for the lucky dog. There he goes. See, we can make things interesting around here. Man, Joe's car looks like it has just been hammered with rubber. I've actually got to, I gotta rear chase Joe. That car looks like it is just peppered with rubber, which is wild. Oh, these aren't that fast, Tom. Let's go back to the Gominator. Gominator doesn't look too bad, but it's still pretty splattered, but he's got that black car out in front. Don't look half bad. $125 in the books. 75 laps to go in this thing. Gotta wonder when we're gonna see them start to pit. Diggs, you're not wrong. I've died in these cars a lot of times, but I tell you what, once you figure out how to drive them, they are a hell of a lot of fun. It's about 4 laps from, I think, about pit, 4 laps for about pit road time for some of these leaders. At that point, we'll have gotten through 2 green flag cycles, which is pretty impressive. It's funny because I'm hearing in the race chat that next year we have to do bumpy Daytona just so we can have more cautions. Which is interesting because JD even brought up a valid point. I never thought I'd hear the day where he would hear that we needed more cautions. Kyle, you got to learn to roll your entries a little bit. Ron, I do too. I think the green flag stops make things really, really interesting. As JD has now taken over the Lucky Dog. Well, he's still in the Lucky Dog, but now you got the Lucky Dogs in front of the lead lap cars. Somebody said something about want an intimate nap time. What the hell does that even mean? Tom, I run 100% force feedback all the time on everything, and then I let the game adjust to what it should be. And really, bumpy Daytona is not that bad. It really isn't. Oh my God. Diggs, I don't know what that is, but well, Kyle, that's one of those things that you've got to figure out. Is now we have another battle for the Lucky Dog. Gary's made it to the front. JD sits third on the Lucky Dog list. There are concerns about pit crew members now. And JD said something about needing to pit very soon. It's the mic, I promise, and the filters. If I had that all off, you'd hear all sorts of things. As Joe Sullivan's gonna take the Lucky Dog from Gary, Gary moves to the back. It really seems like these guys are having a cycle a lot. Very weird. I'm looking to see. These guys are still 27 seconds back from Gabe. They're not really catching the hell out of some of these guys like I thought they would. I thought he said intimate. I honestly thought that's what I heard. So it may be because of the fact that I have him turned down. That might be why. Kevin West going to come to pit road this time. Moger's out of fuel on the bottom. This could play into a couple of things. Oh, that changed the entire strategy. Hopefully Kevin West has enough fuel to make it all the way around. Maybe Kevin's out now? I can't tell. I think he might be. He is way off pace. So now you've got your top four out in front. I gotta imagine they're gonna come to pit road either this lap or next. See how many people we get on the lead lap after this cycle of stops. Oh, and there's the Weasel. He's joined the chat. We got 43 people watching an 87's 500 at New Daytona. I think that's actually got to be somewhat of a record for one of these races, because usually it's bumpy Daytona. Waiting to hear Tom and Connor call out when the pit cycle will happen. I heard Korn call out that he's pitting. Brandon Sox off of pit road out in front of the leaders, so that's good for him. Especially being that he would be the next car a lap down, or he is a lap down. I gotta imagine this entire group is coming. We'll have to see. Joe Sullivan gonna come to pit road. Tom's coming at the lap cars, but Dominator coming this time. Connor coming with him. Ethan Mosby coming with him as well. Hopefully they can get him slowed down. Ooh, Ethan get really loose. Tom, we've done these cars at Atlanta, and they get very, very interesting for sure. We got a spin at pit entrance. That is JD McHale. Oh, no. JD hit the inside wall. He's going to tow it. Greg's out in front. He's going to stay out for a little bit longer. That might be a good play. He's going to put Ethan, Connor, and Tom all lap down here. So Greg's the only car in the lead lap right now. I kind of wonder if Greg wasn't clutching a little bit, see if he couldn't stretch this to one pit stop. I mean, realistically, it's not a bad play at the moment. Ooh, as Greg gets a little pushy in the corner. Greg is still out in front. Tom must have got speeding because now Tom's 2 laps down. Connor also 2 laps down. Oh my God, this shakes everything up. So Greg is headed to pit road. So here comes Greg. Well, that's going to give... Maybe I got to wonder something. We're going to check out something, guys, because something doesn't make sense. Ethan had a 24-second pit time. Tom had a... what in the heck? I'm so very confused right now. What about Connor? Same thing. I'm really confused. I don't know if they had to do a stop and go or what. Greg's still on pit road. Ethan Mosby coming through 3 and 4. So a couple of these guys are going to need a caution. Greg's off of pit road. I think they might have got a speeding penalty there. Here comes Tom and Connor around Greg. They are back on the lead lap, but they are 6th and 7th. So very weird. I'm not real sure. My guess is they probably got a speeding penalty for 1 second, so they come down pit road again. But get this off screen. We're going to show the race data and see what we got here. So we're 141 laps in. Greg Welland's your leader. There's been 2 cautions with 19 lead changes. And Greg is in a group. Ethan Mosby is not. He's got Trailer Park Dude with him. But Greg's pulling away right now. Like this looks like a solid run for Greg right now. Now, Vince Rossetti, the white car in front of Greg, he's the first car a lap down. Or he's the first or last car on the lead lap, I should say, as Greg goes to the inside of Vince. And then you got these guys all battling. Well, Joe Sullivan was going to be your lucky dog. Now it's going to be Vince if the caution were to come out and Corn gets real wild on the wheel. That got real interesting. I want to see Connor and Tom have caught Brandon Sox. So that puts them in a little 3-car group. See if these guys can't get rotating forward. I want to see where Brandon is. Gabe is 25 seconds up, and they are pulling away right now. I'm going to grab Connor, actually, because Connor just went around Sox. Still 25 and a half seconds to this man, Gabe Griffin. So you can see they're in 3 and 4. Gabe's in 1 and 2. These boys got a lot of digging to do. They got a lot of digging to do. Depending on what the tires have been looking like, and obviously we don't know that. You know, maybe JD's in the chat or something. We can get an answer. But these guys got a lot of digging to do to get back to that group. And the one thing that they got to do is they got to stop losing to Greg, because Greg is not that far back. Like, they got to stop racing each other. They got to get in line. They got to get going. Well, they've got in line, and they are starting to pull in. on these guys. Back to Greg. He's all alone, but he's 4 seconds up on Ethan Mosby. Ethan with Trailer Park, dude, he is slowly creeping on that lead. So we'll have to see if he can pull him in, because these guys are running 4 in a row. Vince Rossetti got back to the lead of this group, so Vince is still the last car on the lead lap. We could do an onboard for a lap. Let's do that. Let's go off of Greg. I'm very curious to know what's going on. Go off the roll bar of Greg Wellen here. So we're on board with your leader. Man, you can hear them tires making some noise. I think it's very interesting with the amount of people that are on the same fixed setup, how different and how clean this has been. I think Greg's just kind of cruising. Ain't no point to really push it, but Ethan Mosby, if you look at the left side of your screen, he's within 3.5 of Greg Wellen. And I do see Wallback, Sox, and Gom are closing in. I mean, there's still a lot of time, but they are slowly catching. Let's go off the nose of Greg's car for a little bit here. You can hear he's way off the throttle. Lets it rotate in. Yeah, they're pulling in about a 1/10, maybe 2/10 a lap. Connor is. Back out to TV2 for a minute. Let's go back here. Connor has pulled in Gabe to 24 seconds. Still a lot of space. You see the leaders coming out of turn number 3, or turn number 1, or turn number 2. I don't think we've got any Kiwis in this race. I think everybody's US based except for Vince. Vince is out of Kuwait right now because that's where he's stationed, but yeah, Connor's still trying to chip away as they push to go forward. But Ethan Mosby and Trailer Park Dude have almost got it to within 2.5. So they are rolling. The question is Ethan going to have tires when he gets there? They're spreading out up front, which is good for Ethan, bad for Greg. He did hit the pit wall inside, and I think he had to use a fast repair early on. So Mosby within 2 seconds. He can almost get Trailer Park there. Which, if Kevin West can get there with Ethan, he's got a shot at a couple of positions. Down to 1.5. Mark, they're actually working really good. I keep making some tweaks. I'm already kind of working on the process for the first month review. I figured a good breakdown from brand new to 1 month to doing a 6 month and even a year at that point would be kind of a handy thing. So, let's see. Connor's got the gap to the leaders down to 33. He's also pulled in another second on Gabe Griffin. Yeah, they're actually a really quality pedal. I've been pretty happy with them. So, well, Ethan has caught the back of the pack. The question is, does he sit and ride and kind of wait? What's his plan? As now he's gotten separated from Trailer Park Dude. That's not good. Tom, so this is a special event that Zach Korn put on. You see the 91 car up in front of this pack. He put this whole event together, so it's a special one-off event. But, you know, I do live stream some of the races out my windshield, so we'll be doing some of the WNIS stuff. So that'll be kind of cool. But yeah, it just kind of depends on who's doing what. Because I do some broadcasting, I do some racing, kind of mix it up. So well, Ethan Mosby's taken over the lead for the first time today. I'm surprised that Greg actually let him go. Oh, Kevin West hits the wall. He hangs on to it. Robin does have a valid point. Make sure you check out the new podcast too. That's been out about a week now. And we have episode number 2 on the books. I've got to get with JD about recording that, so we can get that done, because I'm hoping to have that up possibly this coming Saturday, Sunday. My idea for that is to make sure that we do every other week, but if it doesn't happen every other week, you know, for sure every couple of weeks, just to kind of keep it regular, so that way you guys got something to listen to. We have that over on Spotify as well. If you search the Revved Up Podcast. So we're going to try and make sure I have them in both places. You know, a lot of cool things that we're going to talk about. So thank you, Diggs. I actually appreciate that. Ethan Mosby out in front still. Greg Wellen starting to fall off the back of this, but he may just be kind of riding. As I think I saw Ethan get a little twitchy there, which is kind of interesting because this car ain't gotten twitchy at all. And then if we look at the lucky dog situation, Vince Rossetti sits in P8. He would be your lucky dog. Checking a few other things out. Where is Connor? Connor is 30 seconds back. These guys have been doing some work. They're 23 seconds back from Gabe. Gabe and those guys have closed in on Greg as well. So I kind of got to wonder, let's look at last lap times. We got Zach Korn crash. The caution is out. Not sure what happened. Let's looks like he might have popped the wall. Take a look at it. Oh God. Let's go blimp view on this. It looks like he kind of comes down into Ethan. We get through the corner here. Ethan's holding that bottom. Yeah, Korn just kind of drifts down. I don't think it was anything intentional. But he gets into your leader there. They make contact. Sends Korn on a trajectory for the wall. He catches the outside wall. Oh, he barely gets Greg. Vince has got nowhere to go. Oh, man. So it doesn't look like Corn's car is destroyed, but probably a bruised ego there. We'll take a quick glance at Greg's car if we can. Let's do a rear chase. Greg doesn't look too terrible. Corn already on pit road. That car's pretty bent up. Looking to see where Vince is tweaked up a little bit. But I do believe Joe Sullivan is going to be your lucky dog. That will put him, I think, back on the lead lap. So we'll have to wait here and see who's going to get that. That will help, Michelle. Oh, Diggs, I'm not kidding you. That was a wild, wild wreck. How did Vince get lucky dog? So Vince Rossetti got the lucky dog even though he was involved in the wreck. That is weird. I've never seen iRacing do that. Kyle, Greg got nothing. So I love that stuff. All right, so Vince gonna make it onto pit road. I'm gonna go use the restroom myself so we can watch the last, about 40 laps. I will be right back, folks. All right, folks. Well, we've just about got 40 laps to go. 40 laps once we hit the start finish line. We'll have 8 cars on the lead lap, so this is very interesting for everyone. trying to get everybody in line here. All right, so Ethan Mosby going to be your leader as we get ready to take the restart. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, it looks like, so we got Mosby, Wellen, Sox, Griffin, Bell, Gom, Walbeck, and Rossetti, your top 8. As we get ready to restart here. Vince is at the back of the longest line as he's the lucky dog, so the longest line is your inside line. We're Green Flag Racing from Daytona. See how quick these lead lap cars can clear everybody. You got Mosby and Wellen out in front. Sox sits P number 3. Oh, and Ethan blinked. Top 3 go to the bottom. Brandon Sox looking for any way around that he can find. And it's all Greg Wellen out in front again. Three wide off of turn number 4 for a minute. Still 3 wide. Oh, this could get ugly real quick. We kind of hammer everything out. Gom trying to get back to the front with Walbeck in tow. The sun has come back to Daytona. As now Gabe Griffin is going to try to challenge for the lead for the first time today. Gabe to the outside. Can he get it done around Greg? Gabe's going to lead that lap. He's got Justin Bell in tow with him. And they're trying to pull Gary Freeman with him as well. Gary could potentially get a lap back the hard way. Gary sits as your lucky dog right now with Joe Sullivan right behind him. Yeah, you guys wanted entertainment? Here we go. Oh, Gom's getting loose. Not sure what happened on the backstretch there. Top 4 have single filed out. Tom's looking for a way around Moger. Gabe continues to lead, Justin Bell behind him. Three wide in the back of the pack. Tom with Mosby. Sock's going to drop it to the bottom lane. Ooh, Gabe and Greg touch momentarily. Greg holds the high line with nobody in tow. Kind of interesting. Tom gonna go with the 15 of Joe Sullivan. Gabe Griffin continues to lead though. So Joe and Gary are fighting it out for the lucky dog. They're the red and the orange car in the middle. Tom drops it to the bottom. He's going to go around the lap car of Gary Freeman if he can get there. Oh, Joe's in the wall. He hangs on to a 3 wide into turn number 1. So you've got almost all your lead lap cars are right there in that group. The last one I saw, Vince Rossetti is at the bottom behind Mosby in the Dale Senior car. Justin Bell going to try to challenge for the lead on Gabe Griffin this time, maybe. If he can hang the bottom, he's got Sox with him. 3 wide out of the tri-oval they go. Greg Wellen back to the lead. Tom Gom trying to get something going. He's 3 wide up the middle. Back down to 2. Trailer Park dude coming with him as well. That's going to send Gabe all the way back to about 6th position. Ooh, the Gominator hits the apron in 1. Or I'm sorry, in 3, going to 4. Greg's out there all by himself. That's not good for Greg, but these guys are fighting behind. Tom trying to get the draft off of Greg. He's going to pull forward. Greg going to hold the bottom this time. Almost 30 laps to go in this race. It got a little boring in the mid, but now things are going to start to heat up. Sox up the inside. Greg gonna drop to cover. Sox and Gom side by side for second. Ooh, I think Justin Bell or Trailer Park dude hit the outside wall there. Here comes Connor Wolbeck around the Gominator. Brandon Sox looks to the inside. Tom's falling back. I don't know if he cooked his tires or what's happening, but Tom is off pace a little bit here as he tries to get the draft off the back of Connor Wolbeck. Sox to the bottom. Oh, Freeman and him touch. Trailer Park dude had the fender ripped off of it. Gabe's loose in the back. He saves it. We stay green flag racing. That's going to spread some things out. I can't believe that they didn't wreck like hell. I want to look and see. Let's take a look at Gary in his car. There's a little bit of damage to that right rear, and if we come back and look at Kevin West, he's missing his entire left front fender, but he stays in the draft. Like, that's pretty damn impressive in my book. As we go back to the lead, Greg Wellen leads across the line. 30 laps to go in this race. Brandon Sox looking to try to get something done. Gary trying to get his lap back the hard way. I have no idea how they saved it, Diggs. Oh, good Lord. There was a block there. Oh, good Lord. They make contact. Tom saves it. Jeez, oh, Pete's all over the wheel. Tom's loose. He saves it. Oh, my God. There's death. Absolute death. Oh! There's even more. Brandon Sox in that. We're going to come back. We're going to go blimp mode on this thing, and you'll see it as we come past the building. Tom's loose. He gets... Oh, Jesus. Connor saves it. Oh, and then Gabe just drills him. That is rough. My God. Brandon Sox had to tow. Tom missing the right front. We're slowed down here in turn number 1. That took out some heavy hitters. Gabe had to tow as well. Man. Yeah, it sounded like Connor was expecting socks to be clear as he tried to move up for Tom, and it just sounded like he got him right in the quarter. Well, it looks like Tom's going to be able to get it to pit road and get it fixed. Hopefully he's sitting on that fast repair. I do believe Gary is our lucky dog. I know he was hoping to get it around Greg Welland to get it back the hard way, but unfortunately this is where he's at. They just hit 30 to go. The question is, what do you do here? So Justin Bell stays out. I would have figured he would have pitted with 30 to go. Maybe he's got enough fuel. Hard to say. Let's get our race data back up. So we've had 4 cautions today for 10 laps. 22 lead changes, though. That's kind of what I thought, James. So I'm kind of surprised that Justin didn't hit there. But oh. Oh, Brandon Sox already used his fast repair for this race. So that's going to take Brandon out of it. That sucks. All right. I will be right back, guys. All right, so Justin Bell pitted on that second go-round. So Greg Welland back to the lead. We've got Joe Sullivan up in front. So the guys that didn't pit that were lap down cars, this is something iRacing has done for a little bit now. They've started putting the lap cars in front of the leaders. So technically Joe Sullivan, Kevin West, they're on the lead lap right now. If they can get a quick caution, this could work out and they could wind up on the lead lap the hard way. So Or, well, Brandon Sox is back out there, albeit a lap down. He's on his way. Went around Zach Korn. So the lights on the pace car are off. The Joe Sullivan will be our control car for this restart. Kevin West, missing a front fender, has hung on to this thing. So pace car should duck off here, and we should get back and ready to go racing with about 25 laps to go. We're off. So Joe Sullivan leads the pack. Your leader is that 93 car. He's going to go to the inside of Kevin West. So Greg Wellen is on the move. Connor Walbeck is right behind him. Ooh, Connor's going to have to shove it 3 wide here. So they have made it around all the lap cars at this point. Andrew Moger in the 46 sits 17th position, about 15 laps down from your leader, so keep that in mind. Greg is doing Connor 0 favors as they try to get away from the rest of this pack. Connor gives him a bump down into turn number 1 there. Andrew looks like he's kind of dropped off just a little bit. The Gominator's made it back to 3rd position. Connor's going to drop to the bottom and go around Greg. Tom doesn't have the room to pull it off. He's going to get in line, though, and see if they can steamroll him on the bottom side. As Connor goes to the lead. He led early. We got 23 laps to go. Ooh, there's contact between the 46 and the 93. My God. Justin Bell's joined the top 4. Ooh, Moger drifts up on entry almost every time right there. Tom's trying to get something going. Connor continues to lead. Greg's on the outside, no help. Kyle, Greg's one of the best I've ever seen do it in an 87. I think Tom's going to have to help him, though, so he can get around the lap car of Andrew Moger. Greg to the lead. Tom out there by himself now. Tom trying to make a hole that isn't there. Oh, we got some people hitting the wall in the back. Tom's cleared Moger. And it looks like Justin Bell has cleared him too. So you got the top 4 nose to tail. It looks like Ethan Mosby trying to join this group as well. Ethan's sitting in 5th. He's to the inside of Moger here. The top 5 have cleared all the lap cars. Vince Rossetti starts to come back into this conversation. All the way from Kuwait, he's going to try and get to the front. 20 laps to go at the line. The question is do you sit and do you wait and stay close with Greg? Like, what is the plan? Moger to the inside. Or not Moger, that was Mosby to the inside. Vince Rossetti going to keep steamrolling too. Vince on the move. Gary smashes the outside wall. Gary's in this thing. He's 7th position, so fighting for that lucky dog actually helped out quite a bit as Tom's going to look to the inside. He threw the block on Mosby. There are no green-white checkers in this, so there's going to be a lot of things. You're going to have to position yourself now. You're not going to be able to wait. Because if the caution comes out with 3 to go, that's it. It's over. Oh, Justin Bell and Gary smacked the wall again. Connor trying to do anything to get Greg Wellen loose or to get him up the track so he could take the inside line. Greg covering it quite well and hanging on. Justin Bell falling off a little bit. Tom going to throw the block on Mosby. You got your top 7, all your lead lap cars within a second of each other. Oh, Justin Bell has hit the wall. He saves it. Still single file. Ethan Mosby going to go to the inside of the Gominator. Mosby's inside of Tom. Woo, that was close. That's going to let Connor get out in front a little bit. But Tom should start to pull that draft and pull back in on him pretty quickly. Mosby almost turned him right there. As Tom is pulling in pretty quick, actually. 16 laps to go. I think anybody in this top 5 has a shot at it. Hell, I think even Gary's got a shot at it sitting where he's at. Gary into the top 6. Vince Rossetti picks up another one as he goes around the inside of Ethan Mosby. Mosby brushes the wall. Top 3 with a little bit of a gap over Rossetti. See if he can grab some draft. Pull these guys back in through the corner. Greg Wellen's still out in front. Connor Walbeck second. Vince is starting to pull your leader, well, at least Tom, back in. So he's picking up some steam at this point. They are coming up on the lap car. Zach Korn in the 91. I've got Gabe Griffin crashed on the backstretch. See. He's getting rolling, so I'm not really sure what happened there. As Greg Wellen continues to lead, Zach Korn moved to the high lane as these guys came around. They're going to catch Gabe Griffin as they head off down into turn number 3. Connor Wolbeck to the inside of Greg Wellen. We're going to come to 13 laps to go. Connor to the lead that time. Greg hanging out outside. Gary's starting to come back into this picture, so we're going to see what happens here really soon. Gary's 0.77 back, so he's got the draft. The question is, can the tires hang on as Greg is now starting to drift back a little bit further? Tom to his inside. Tom trying to get Connor's draft. Also trying not to let Ethan Mosby have an opening to shove it up 3 wide. Oh, they make contact on the backstretch. Everything's clean. Looked like that was unintentional. Greg trying to come back around the outside. I'm surprised nobody's jumped up to help Greg yet, actually. Connor leads. Connor has a little bit of a lead at the moment. Everybody's kind of breathing, but Gary's come right back into this as Connor's pulling away. Tom almost to the back bumper of Connor. Unintentionally intentional. I'm just waiting for the lights to kick on around this joint because, man, it's starting to get dark. Lots of movement out of these guys. 10 laps to go. Can we make it all the way to the end of this race without the caution again? That could be the interesting question. Greg pinches Connor in the corner. Greg gonna get ahead for a second, but Connor's got more help behind him. Ooh, this is getting sketchy. This is getting real sketchy. We all stay nice and clean. As you can tell, the heat is getting turned up. Tom hasn't quite cleared Greg. I mean, Greg is just so strong on that high side. And the caution has come out. Looks like Gabe Griffin crashed again. Phil said that a car appeared in the tri-oval bouncing straight up and down. So he hits the wall. Oh my God. Gabe, are you okay? Huh. Well, I think Joe Sullivan's going to get your lucky dog here. Well, I think Joe Sullivan has officially finally got the lucky dog. All race trying to get it back. And we're going to have like 5 laps left to determine this thing. So that makes this even more interesting. Yep, Joe Sullivan will be our lucky dog recipient here. And I gotta imagine all these guys are coming in for tires. I think you're crazy if you don't. And that's what it looks like. Everybody coming down pit road. Yep, and there goes our lucky dog, Joe Sullivan, out and away. See if Connor can get on pit road, get off pit road before Greg. Oh, Brandon Sox does a 180. Vince Rossetti going to be the first one off. I think he took 2 tires. We're going to check that. Vince with an 11-second stop. Greg with a 22. So Vince took 2 tires. Maybe he knows something we don't know. Connor went from 1st to 4th. Gom's back there a little bit. Well, it's going to change some things. But, lap cars are going to go to the back. The bad thing is Joe Sullivan's going to be all the way at the back of that line. So... we should see our lap cars fade to the back here. So it'll be one single file line. I do believe. We're going to go green at lap 195. All right, well, it looks like so we've got Bill slide to the back so that way it doesn't become an issue. Is it? All right. So Vince Rossetti going to bring us to the green flag with 5 laps to go in this thing. We're going to see if his 2-tire call paid off. It may work, it may not. So here we go. Next flag in this thing, if it comes out at 197, race will be over. We're green flag racing. Getting wild up front already. Ethan Mosby going to try to take the bottom lane away from Greg Wellen and try to get forward. I see the Gominator trying to get through there as well. Mosby looking for a way around the Fapper. Vince Rossetti out in front. They're going to split him. It looked like we're going to go 3 wide for a minute. Connor takes Vince. So Vince hangs the lead. Connor sits second. Connor looking for anything. Mosby's got no help on the outside right now. Oh, Gary's loose. Gary's loose. Does he keep it down? And they're wrecking huge. Oh my God. That was lap 196. What happened? We're gonna go to the blimp. I gotta look at Gary. Gary kept it down. He actually handled it quite well. We're going to look at Tom here. Everything was fine. He almost had Vince cleared, but there was just nothing he could do. And now I'm not sure how this is going to end. We're on lap 197. They should be getting the 2 to go this next time by. Yeah, I think this might be over here. You got Ethan in first, Greg's in second, Gary third. Joe Sullivan sits fourth place. And he restarted dead last. That was a wild, wild finish, if that was the end of this race. So we'll find out here in just a second if it gives them the 2 to go. We'll confirm it. Ethan, did it give you 2 to go, or is it just saying pacing? Yep, that's the end of it. All right, well, these guys are going to pace around here for the remainder of these 2 laps. Wow, I want to go back. I want to go back and take a look at that wreck here in just a second. Let's go find that really quick. We're gonna go on board with a couple of these guys. We'll go off the nose of Brandon's socks. Just nothing Brandon can do at that point. What? Okay, I kind of got to look at Brandon's car now. I can't imagine there's a ton of damage on this thing. Brandon basically hits the apron, saves it, gets a little bit of a bump in the corner, spins it, and keeps rolling. All right. So we got one more lap around this joint. We got one lap around, and then that's all she wrote. Sounds like the Gominator may have went bang. Oh my God. They're going to try and push Tom around the track. That thing looks like a rolling wreck. My God. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. All right. Well, we're going to... Tom says he's finishing out of pride at this point. Oh my God, this is hilarious. We're gonna get our top 3 plus corn in here in just a second. Once this gets done, we'll let these guys finish up, pull off the track, all that fun stuff. Oh, and Ethan blinks right there. I don't think they'll get any X's. It's not gonna matter too much, but yeah. So Ethan gonna bring it around to burn it down. All right, we don't have results. Sounds like Corn's gonna find a spot to wreck the car. It did finish under caution, Tyler. We did finish under caution. Tom's just trying to finish at this point, but we're gonna catch Ethan here. We'll get him the spin in the grass in the 3 car. I love it. Tom's gonna finish the race with Don Jordan and Phil Connor. We'll get our results up on screen here. So Ethan Mosby comes home your winner. Greg Wellen finishes 2nd. Gary Freeman gonna finish 3rd. Joe Sullivan back on the lead lap at the end there. He's 4th. Connor Wolbeck 5th. Vince Rossetti is 6th. Tom Gom finishes 7th. Brandon Sox is 8th. Kevin West 9th. Justin Bell's 10th. Zach Korn is 11th. Don Jordan 12th. Bill Lance 13th. James Seco is 14th. Phil Connor comes home in 15th. Gabe Griffin 16th. Andrew Boger is 17th. JD comes home 18th. Moving back just a little bit further, we've got Scott Thompson, Nick Adams, James Phillips rounding out the rest of the field. Jump this back up. I'm waiting to see Ethan Mosby show up here. As soon as we've got your winner, I can go ahead and get him pulled in. I'll bring Gary up to the waiting room. Yeah, so I'm just waiting on Ethan at this point. So once we get him up here, we'll talk to him. He's having too much fun burning it down in the grass, though. I do got to say, though, thanks to everybody that came out for this race, that signed up for it. We're hoping it's going to be bigger next year. And have the duels, all that fun stuff. We've got a lot of different things that we're going to do with it. The next big event pretty much for this group is going to be the Firecracker 400. That'll be the next major thing coming up that we're going to host. That'll be sometime in June/July. I'm going to separate it so that way we don't have to worry about anything to do with official stuff. But I'm just waiting. Corn, have you seen Mosby at all?
I have not.
I don't see him in the Discord anywhere. I wanted to get him in for an interview. I guess while we wait for him, I'll go ahead and get Greg and Gary in here, and then we'll kind of roll through.
Okay.
We got second place, Greg Wellen. Greg, you led a lot today. At one point, I thought you were going to walk away with it with that last green flag pit stop we had, because you were separated by everybody else by quite a bit there for a little while.
Yeah, I was doing a good job at getting on and off a pit road extremely well. And then also with the timing, I had fresh tires and could kind of just drive away.
Right.
But that's how it goes. That's super speedway racing. I'll take a P2 on a super speedway race any day.
I was going to say, I don't see you in many super speedway officials. So.
No, I ran this because you guys were officiating and you always put on a good show. So I knew I'd have a good time, and I did.
I try. We try to. I thought Corn was crazy when he picked New Daytona. But it looked like it looked like it came out really good.
Honestly, the racing was good. Whether when we were playing chess there, the strategy racing that went going through the large part of the middle, that was fun. But then the racing at the end, even though I came up short and got a little wadded up, like it was good racing. It was surprising. It was hard. It's very, very hard to run that good there.
Well, especially with, we're used to bumpy Daytona. The speeds are really different in this car here. So, maybe next year I make it a little bit looser and, we'll let you guys have a little bit of havoc, but it looked like a pretty solid set.
That setup was ridiculous. You made that?
Yes, I did.
Brother, that is the best super speedway set. I'm not out of the server. I'm going to go save that thing. I'm stealing it from you, AJ.
Go for it. You want to know something funny? This is nothing more than the Daytona fixed setup for here. I added gear ratio, I dropped the front end, and I added some spoiler. That's it.
Amazing how simple it is, isn't it?
You don't have to do a ton of stuff.
No.
I try to explain that to people, but they don't listen. But anyway, second place on the night, especially with a race that looked like it was going to go green for quite a while, is no easy feat. Obviously we had the huge wreck there at the end that ended the race. Not exactly how you wanted it to end, but second place nonetheless. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before I let you go?
Oh yeah, I need to thank Kale and Keegan for not taking time to do this because I had no help at the end of this race. But then again, it probably would have just been me pushing Kale. So I'd take the good with the bad, I suppose.
Well, hopefully they show up next year, because Corn wanted to have duels and everything. So
dude, I wanted like 60 plus people so that we had like 2 duels to narrow it down to like 40 drivers. I had grand ideas.
Well, you still put on a good show. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you, dude. You drove a rocket ship tonight. No joke there. Like when you got behind me when I was 2 laps down and I was just running on, 40 lap old tires, and I was just hoping for cautions. Like you were a rocket ship, man.
Yeah, I figured out the line pretty early. I got lucky on that one, but yeah, good old Ethan Mosby, man. What a job well done. Put himself in the right place at the right time. He made that move on me at the end there. I mean, just what a job.
Yeah, that was definitely a solid run. We haven't talked to him yet. I had to wait for him to get into the Discord here. So, but I'm going to let you go, Greg, so that way we can get him in. Congrats on the second place. And I believe, Corn, you're probably going to get with him later about everything else.
Yep.
Okay.
Before you do go, you walk away with $200 tonight, man. Congratulations.
Sweet. A lot of fun. Thank you for doing that, you guys.
Absolutely. Have a good night, sir.
You too. Hey, real quick, awesome unboxing video. That was really cool about those pedals.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm actually really enjoying them.
Yeah. It's not that pedals take you from a mediocre driver to a great driver, but they just make you more consistent. So
Exactly.
if you're a pretty consistent, great driver, you're just going to be a more consistent, great driver. So
Exactly.
Yep.
So.
All right, gentlemen.
Have a good night, sir. All right, that was Greg Wellen, everybody. We're going to get your winner in here. The man on the move. He did it in the Dale car. Ethan Mosby.
Yeah, that that win, I don't know if you can hear me right. I'm having issues with my mic, but
You're good. I got you turned up a little bit.
okay. I mean, it's just how Daytona wins work, but I lucked my way into it. I mean,
Well,
just right place, right time.
you fought with some of the best in 87s. I mean, you had Greg Wellen, you had Tom Gom, Connor Walbeck's up there, Vince Rossetti. I mean, these guys are guys that I race in top split on a regular basis, and you did pretty damn good tonight, I'd say.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I ran probably 10, 15 races during Talladega week, so
Right.
I've raced against them during that in some of the times when there was single split. But I mean, it's just incredible that I was able to do this.
Well, I mean, you even Greg said it. You put yourself in a great position at the end there. Obviously, with the big wreck happening, it happened just about as quick as you cleared Greg. Quite honestly.
Yeah, I saw it in my mirror and I just hit the gas. I just was gonna try to be out front when the caution came because I saw in my mirror Gary sideways and yeah, that caution was coming.
Yeah, at that point, just stand on it and get away. So, well, first place on the night tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before I let Corn take over here for a second?
You're experiencing some network difficulties. If it continues, they may
Apparently you're
remove you
experiencing
from the
network
session.
difficulties.
So Kevin, he stuck with me even being lapped down there for a good portion of the race.
The trailer park dude. All right. Well, like I said, you got first on the night. I'm gonna let Corn take over here for a minute and let him get through his stuff.
Yeah, congratulations on the first place. I know you and I had a run in there. You know, you came out better for it. You know, good on you for that. You walk away with first place tonight. That gives you $335, dude. Congratulations. Enjoy it. Do something cool with it, man.
Thanks.
All right. Well, Ethan, congrats on the win tonight. Hopefully we get to see you for the next hosted one, which we're going to do is going to be the Firecracker 400. So see if you can go back to back.
I hope to.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats on the win tonight. Go spend the money on something cool, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you for the Firecracker here in a few months.
All right.
Congrats, man. We'll talk to you later. All right. Last person to get in here. I had you for the win. I picked you because it was a joke. But Gary, you wound up third place tonight, even after collecting in the outside wall on the last lap. Walk me through the night a little bit.
Man, it has been an up and down and up and down night.
Oh yeah. You JD and Joe fought pretty hard for that lucky dog for a long time, and then Vince got it because of when everything kind of went down for that next caution. But you know, to get the lucky dog, you got to start at the back of the longest line, and then to still wind up third at the end after being involved in that whole thing. And you did one hell of a save. I just have to say that was clutch.
That is 100%. God bless the dirt. There's no other way to explain that.
Well, because you I think it was Tom or somebody, as you started to go down, they started to come with you. I think actually it was Moger. That's who it was. You barely cleared them.
Yeah, there were a few moments in the last 10 laps that should not have worked.
Right.
And I was all over Greg going into one. And I got a little love from behind.
The Gominator was looking for a way around, but also it kind of looked like you guys, like the whole group in front of you plus you checked up all at once. And I don't know if he was anticipating, because you see him touch, hit the brakes, and he tries to stay off. And then all hell just breaks loose at that point.
I was trying to barely stay off Greg going in. I almost hit him to begin with, so
Yeah.
I burped it. And the next thing I know, I'm staring at the infield wall.
Well, that's the way it goes some days.
Ooh. I fully expected to go play with the catch fence.
I figured you were headed back up the track. I really did.
Oh, so did I. I figured that was it. We're done.
Right.
We're gonna go play with the fans, hang out, take some souvenirs home.
Right. But
Ooh.
like I said, you come home third place on the night after probably one of the longer green flag races I think we've ever seen in a Daytona race.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very wild race to have so many green flag runs.
It was actually, in my opinion, and Corn, we'll talk about this here in a minute, but it was really, really good, I thought.
Mhm.
But
Oh, it was great. I mean, I didn't care that I was a lap down
right,
for what, close to 100 laps.
right.
The lucky dog battle.
Oh yeah. I got a lot of that on stream, so that was pretty good. 1 second I'd watch you guys for a little bit, then it would calm down, I'd look back, and we kind of kept going back and forth, and next thing I know, you guys are flip-flopping positions like it's going out of style. So
we all wanted it. We didn't realize that Vince was the one getting it. Oh,
right. No, I get that.
I mean,
but
and I got to give everybody in that little pack massive credit, because we were shoving each other, we were leapfrogging, we did it clean. As hard as we ran, that was
a wild one.
Like, third's nice. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I had more fun in that battle than I have sitting here talking to you guys. That was just, it was so much fun.
Right.
With the respect we have for each other, as hard as we ran each other.
Yeah.
It was great.
Right. No, it definitely looked fun. So, but third place on the night tonight, anybody you want to give a shout out to before I let Corn do his thing and we let you go for the night?
There's a small list here. I definitely got to give a shout out to Sullivan. I got to give a shout out to JD. I got to give a shout out to Gabe. I got to give a shout out to Justin. Like, that was a killer battle.
Yeah.
I got to give a shout out to Ethan for getting that win. That was impressive. You guys for broadcasting. LRN for putting this together. Got to give a shout out to Too Fast and Beamhost.
All righty. Well, for me, congrats on the third tonight. Corn, the table's yours. Or floor.
Dude, close enough. Dude, you walk away with third place tonight, $133. Congratulations. Don't spend it all in one place. Or do. Who am I to tell you what to do with your money? You know.
I mean, I watched a video earlier today, and well,
it's got you considering new pedals, doesn't it?
That 133 is going to go towards a $700 purchase of new pedals.
I'm very happy with mine.
I'm just waiting on AJ to buy me a set. So,
yeah. All right, Gary. Well, congrats on the third place tonight. We'll let you go, and I will catch up with you a little bit later, I'm sure.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You too, bud. All righty. Well, Corn, you put on a hell of a race. I think you have maybe given me an idea as far as, who knows? Maybe I can convince, and don't get your pitchforks out before you kill me. I may see if the guys want to try new Daytona for the official series, because this looks like it put on a hell of a race.
It was very unique.
Right.
So we're used to bouncing across the track for, 50 to 100 laps. And this provided a different driving experience. I went into this not really knowing what to expect. I think I've only ever done this combo one time. And I aside from being relegated to 2 laps down for the majority of the race, had a ton of fun. I found it very enjoyable. My arms don't feel like they're ready to fall off after 200 laps. Like I am impressed. It was a blast. When I was running with the guys up front, I felt like I could just hang back a little bit, and I wasn't going to have to fight the
Right.
car to get it back up front.
Right.
It was it was kind of like running it at Talladega.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit tighter. It was a little bit. It's like if Talladega was Daytona. Does that make sense?
No, I get what you're saying. The corners are kind of pinched down a little bit, so I get what you're saying.
Right.
So,
It provided a whole different, unique experience
Right.
to 87 Super Speedway racing.
right. No, I thought it made for a very interesting race. It looked very Daytona 1987, if you will. With
Yes.
the way that it kind of strung out and kind of played long game versus what we're used to seeing with bumpy Daytona in these cars. So
I think that played a big factor into why we didn't have so many cautions.
I think so as well. I think it was, like I said, to me, it was really good racing. We got to see 3 green flag pit stops, almost 4.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think this was a solid idea. Maybe the setup could use a little bit more work, but all in all, I think for a first shot at smooth Daytona with an 87, this was good.
Oh yeah.
So, anything you've got before we close this thing out for the night?
I'm keeping everybody's money. I'm kidding.
Jesus Christ.
kidding. For the winners, I will get with you guys at some point in the next day or two to figure out how you guys want your money. I'm pretty sure everybody that won paid through PayPal, so that makes it super easy.
Right.
I just have to figure out how to get the money that was given to me through Cash App and Venmo over to PayPal in the cheapest way possible, and then go from there. So, man, I appreciate you broadcasting this.
As always.
You do a fantastic job. I
Thank
can't wait
you.
to go back
Thank you.
and rewatch this later.
I think you'd be mildly impressed, especially with how quiet it got at points. I still had things to talk about, so we're good there. But is like I said before the race was even over, I think we got to give a huge shout out to everybody that signed up. The guys that thought about it and missed it, I think you missed a hell of a show. I really do.
Without a doubt. I know a lot of that had to do with Super Bowl Sunday, and
right.
next year I am going to make sure that it is not on Super Bowl Sunday, because I know a lot of people do Super Bowl parties that start a lot earlier than the actual Super Bowl.
Yep.
Next year.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say. Next year.
I like it. So, all right. Well, I guess that's it from all of us here at LRN today. We're going to close this thing out. We'll be live again here on the channel Tuesday night. I'm running Road to Pro. My spotter's actually in this room with me right now, so as long as he can make it. Otherwise, Gabe said he's got me. We're gonna try to make a run at it. I don't know if we've got the iRating for it, but we're gonna see how it goes, see if we can get there. So we'll be live with that. I believe that starts at 7:45, so we'll be live a little bit before that. But other than that, everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. And we'll see you guys all on Tuesday night. Say goodnight, Corn.
Good night, Corn.
Later, everybody.